What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ace. This is Fantasized Football. We are back once again bringing y'all some more fantasy football content for the 2021 fantasy football season. And you know what time it is, y'all. It's Friday. That means it's time to do a mock draft. And what do mock drafts mean? What do mock drafts mean? They mean that the phone machine is obsolete. Delete, delete, delete. We don't need that thing. But before we get into the mock and the details of the mock, I did want to quickly say shout out to each and every one of y'all that have been coming by, showing love and support on a weekly basis. And if you're new, thank you for giving me some of your time. I really do appreciate it. If you do like this video at any point, or if you have been enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like on the video. It really helps. Drop a comment down below. Help me boost my fucking algorithm on YouTube or whatever. But anyways, we are here today to do another mock draft, and we're doing things a little bit different. We are going to be using Sleeper this time. We've been doing Fantasy Pros a lot, so I wanted to try something a little different to see how the ADP affects things, do things from a different perspective. But anyways, we are going to be doing a 12-team half PPR mock draft with one quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, a tight end, two flexes, 16 total rounds from the 7th spot, because we haven't done the 7th spot yet. So let's get into that. But real quick beforehand, let me make sure to make it to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. Me and my boy back here, if you haven't met him yet, that's my dude over there. We are trying to hit 100 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the fantasy football season, and we are getting so close that I can taste it. And I appreciate y'all for showing me love and support and subscribing to the channel. So if you do enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe. But let's get right into the mock. So we're on Sleeper. I don't use this much, so bear with me. All right, we got our roster up. Let's just hit start draft. I do have a time limit on this one, so you have to go. I went 3 minutes just so I could talk a little bit. But okay, we see, wow, this is very different. We see Dalvin Cook go first, Derrick Henry go second, and then McCaffrey third. Saquon, Tyreek Hill, and Devontae Adams come off the board, and we are on the clock at the 7th spot. Obviously, most of the time, pretty much all the time on Fantasy Pros, Christian McCaffrey goes first. But Sleeper's cool because it's like Fantasy Pros in the sense that they don't just go based on their rankings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They randomize things a little bit, not randomize things, but the simulation acts as if it were a player itself and drafts differently every time. I'm sure if you did a million drafts, you would come out with the same mock once or twice, but whatever. Anyways, it's on us, and we are on the clock here at the 107, and this is really a no-brainer. We have Alvin Kamara, Nick Chubb, Jonathan Taylor, Zeke, Aaron Jones at running back, wide receivers. We got Hopkins, Diggs, A.J. Brown, Calvin Ridley, etc., etc., etc. Kelsey's there. Mahomes is there. We're not looking at quarterback or tight end. And if you know me, if you don't know me, if you're new, you're going to find out right now. If you didn't know already, I am the type of cat that likes to go running backs early. And if this ever happens and Alvin Kamara is there at the 7th, I am smashing the draft button 10 out of 10 times. So we are going to take Alvin Kamara. Obviously, there is a little bit of risk there early on going with Kamara because we don't know who the quarterback's going to be just yet. But I do expect it to be Jameis Winston, and I expect Kamara to be heavily involved. Right now, I have him as my running back 5. My running back 5 in half PPR, if I'm correct, because it is in full PPR, I have him at 4, I think, but in half PPR, just because he is so elite in terms of catches. The catches come down. He doesn't have as much volume in the rushing game. But anyways, so after we go with Kamara, we see Nick Chubb, Jonathan Taylor, Zeke, Diggs, Hopkins round out the first, and then the second goes Aaron Jones, A.J. Brown, Travis Kelce, DK Metcalf, and Austin Eckler, and it is back on us. Let's take a quick look at wide receiver. We have Ridley, Jefferson, Michael Thomas, tight end, Waller and Kittle are there. Obviously, all the quarterbacks, we're not going to be doing that. But for me here, I see that Cam Akers is still available at running back here, and I just think that is a great value. So I'm going to go ahead and double up on running back like we do most of the time and go with Cam Akers there at the 2-6. Should be heavily involved, the lead back in this offense, and I love to see it there in the middle of the 2nd round. So after Cam Akers, we see Justin Jefferson, Antonio Gibson, Calvin Ridley, Michael Thomas, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Mixon round out the 2nd. The 3rd starts with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, George Kittle, Miles Sanders, Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin, and DeAndre Swift. And now it is back on us here. And you know what? Let's quickly take a peep at wide receiver. We got Allen Robinson, Mike Evans, Julio, Chris Godwin, Robert Woods. Darren Waller is still there at tight end. And at running back, we have Dobbins, Najee, Chris Carson, Montgomery, etc., etc., etc. And let's try something a little different. Let's triple up on running back, right? Because I pulled this. I've been doing this myself anyways. I did this a couple of years ago. I did it in a couple of my drafts last season. If value falls, I don't have a problem tripling up on running back early on, right? And I pulled this actually from Jamie Eisenberg of CBS. I seen him talking on the CBS Fantasy Football Today podcast recently. He said if 3 of my top 15 running backs are available in I can get them in the first 3 rounds, I will do that. And for me here, there is 2 guys actually that are in my top 15. And you might be thinking Chris Carson if you know me, but I actually recently moved Najee Harris above Chris Carson. So I'm going to take Najee Harris of the Pittsburgh Steelers, rookie at the 3-7. I think he has elite upside to handle big time touches, probably be over 300 touches as a rookie. That's huge. And to get 3 of my top 15 running backs to start off in a league where you start 2 flexes, you can start 4 running backs week in and week out and half PPR. I love that, taking Najee Harris there. But after we go with Najee, we see Dobbins, Julio, Allen Robinson, Mike Evans, Amari Cooper come off to finish off the third. The 4 starts Chris Carson, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery, Chris Godwin, and Adam Thielen. Are we about to do this? We're about to do this. All right, you know what? We're getting crazy here, boys. I didn't plan on doing this, but we're going to look at the opposite of the 0 running back strategy we looked at a few weeks ago and go with a little 0 wide receiver approach. I think this is something that I usually wouldn't do, but looking at this board and looking at the value that's fallen, Darren Waller is still here at the 4-6, and that is just way too good a value to not take him here. And the way I'm going to look at this is Darren Waller is essentially my wide receiver 1 on my team, and then whoever my wide receiver 1 is basically the tight end. You just flip-flop it. So in your head, you might have a guy as your wide receiver 1 that you're not 100% comfortable with, but you do have Darren Waller. You do have that positional advantage there. So I am fine with that. And then after we go with Darren Waller, we see Robert Woods, Josh Allen, CeeDee Lamb, DJ Moore, Kenny Golladay, Kareem Hunt round out the 4th. The 5th starts Myles Gaskin, Cooper Kupp, Melvin Gordon, Deontay Johnson, Chase Edmonds, and TJ Hawkinson, who did not fall back to us. Maybe he would have if we hadn't picked Waller. But let me know down in the comments, would you have picked Waller there and gone with one of these wide receivers here, or would you have waited and hoped that TJ Hawkinson fell to you and maybe got Robert Woods or CeeDee Lamb? Now, we are on the clock, and we do need our first wide receiver. Usually in a 0 running back, 0 wide receiver strategy, you would be waiting till the 5th, 6th round to pick your first running back or wide receiver. I have 3 strong running backs. You know what? Let's just look at running back. Etienne, Mostert, Robinson, David Johnson, Mike Davis is down there. I do like Mike Davis here, but I do want to get my wide receiver 1. And you know what? Let's see. We got Lockett, Ayuk, I don't know, Odell, T. Higgins, Cortland Sutton, etc., etc., etc. And you know what? Let's practice what we preach. We talked about him a little earlier this week. Cortland Sutton, wide receiver of the Denver Broncos. I think he has elite upside, and he's going to be our wide receiver 1 on this team, which is a bit questionable. But like I said, the way you got to look at this is essentially Darren Waller is your wide receiver 1, and Cortland Sutton is your tight end, basically. You know, Cortland Sutton's obviously your wide receiver, and Darren Waller is your tight end. But in terms of points, if you got the point production of Cortland Sutton week in and week out at tight end, you'd be very happy. And Waller should be similar to what he was last season, over 100 catches, over 1,000 yards, you know, anywhere from 6 to 9, maybe even 10 touchdowns, and I am fine with that there in the 4th round. So after we go with Sutton, we see Mark Andrews, Tyler Lockett, Lamar, Murray, and Dak Prescott, a big run on quarterback to round out the 5th. The 6th starts OBJ. That is a no for me. No, sir, fucking Bob Ree. I am fading Odell hard. Etienne, Brandon Ayuk, David Johnson, Raheem Mostert, and it's back on us at the 6th. Let's take a quick look at quarterback. We got, I went to all. Quarterback, we got Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Herbert, Jalen Hurts. Nobody I really want to reach for. We got 3 running backs, so we don't have to go running back. Robinson's there, Mike Davis is there, Damian Harris is there. I do want to get an RB4 probably next round, But right now, let's go ahead and look at the wide receivers. We do want to get another wide receiver. We have T. Higgins, Chase Claypool, DJ Chark, Juju, Will Fuller, Tyler Boyd, etc., etc., etc. And I don't see him right here, so this is cool on Sleeper. You just go over here, find player. I love T. Higgins, right? In full PPR, I like T. Higgins better than Jamar Chase. But in half PPR, I do like Jamar Chase. Is he still available? He is. But you know what? I've taken Chase a few times. I haven't got any shares of Higgins. And I actually, when I was looking at my projections recently, I finished up all my stuff. I got some rankings coming soon for y'all. Keep an eye out for that. But, you know, I might move Higgins above Jamar Chase in half PPR. And we've taken Jamar Chase a few times. Let's go with T. Higgins here. So we have Courtland Sutton and T. Higgins as our wide receivers. And I like both these guys. I think they both have the upside to finish maybe not in the top 12 as wide receiver ones, but as high-end wide receiver twos. And when you have Darren Waller, that is just fine. They will provide enough upside in order for us to sustain a winning team. So up to this point, we're 6 rounds in. We have Alvin Kamara, Cam Akers, Najee Harris, Darren Waller, Courtland Sutton, and T. Higgins, and it's back on us. Let's scroll down a little bit here. Catch up there. All right, so after we go T. Higgins, we see James Robinson, Damian Harris, Dallas Goedert, Justin Herbert, Chase Claypool, Aaron Rodgers round out the 6th. The 7th starts Mike Davis, unfortunately. I wanted to get him here, but he didn't fall back to us. But it probably wouldn't happen normally. Will Fuller, Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette, Zach Moss, and DJ Chark. And it's on us. Take a look at running back. We do have 3. Whoa, what is going on here? Whoa, wowee, what the heck? All right, so the guys I can see at least are Kenyon Drake, James Conner, Javonte Williams. It's just a big, weird gap. Sleeper is so different on the website compared to the app. It is insane. But anyways, whatever. So running backs, Drake, James Conner. I like Javonte, but I don't know if I want to take Javonte here. Let's look at wide receiver and see if we want to take another receiver or if we want to grab Javonte Williams. Juju's there. We're not going to take Tyler Boyd because we have T. Higgins, Debo, Robbie Anderson. Jamar Chase is still there, unfortunately. Could have gone Mike Davis and waited and got Jamar Chase here, but could have never predicted that. Curtis Samuel, blah, 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 blah. And they have Robert Tonyan listed as wide receiver tight end. That's odd. Anyways, now it's on us here. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to take Javonte here, make sure I lock in a running back 4. I drafted those 3 really, really strong running backs to start, so I don't have to start Javonte right away. I do still need one more flex, so if I had to, I can. But I'm going to go ahead and draft a wide receiver here probably to make sure I have another guy I'm comfortable slotting in early on in the season until Javonte Williams takes over as my second flex. Let's look at quarterback real quick. Hurts is still here, so that's something to consider. We also have Tannehill a little further down there, and I'm fine with Tannehill. I actually have Tannehill right behind Hurts right now, so that's not bad. Wide receiver, we have Cooks, Curtis Samuel, Robert Tonyan, Jarvis, Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Parker. So we have Sutton, we have Higgins. So for me here, we're in the 8th round. I'm either going to be going with Curtis Samuel or I'm going to be going with Jalen Hurts. And I am a little light at wide receiver with just Courtland Sutton and T. Higgins. And I'm okay with Ryan Fitzpatrick if I have Ryan Tannehill if I have to wait on him. So after this at wide receiver, after Curtis Samuel, I doubt Brandon Cooks falls back to me. Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Antonio Brown maybe, but Curtis Samuel is just a slight step above all those guys for me. So I'm going to go ahead and lock in my wide receiver 3. Curtis Samuel, a guy I am cool with starting at my flex week in and week out. I think, like I mentioned with Curtis Samuel a little earlier this week, and that's another guy that I talked about in my favorite early wide receiver sleepers values video. If you haven't checked that out, make sure to check it out. It's a great piece of work. But Curtis Samuel, playing with Ryan Fitzpatrick, reunited with Ron Rivera. I expect Ron Rivera will learn from how successful Curtis Samuel was last year in Carolina, and then in turn use him in that way, move him around the formation. He did have his career high in targets with Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera is the guy that brought him in. So I expect Curtis Samuel to be heavily involved in this Washington football team offense. So after we go with, after Javonte Williams, it went Russell Wilson, Juju, Robbie Anderson, Kenyon Drake, Jamar Chase, and then the 8th started Noah Fant, James Conner, Tyler Boyd, Mike Gesicki, Debo Samuel. Then we took Curtis Samuel. Then after that, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Dillon, Tom Brady, Logan Thomas, Tony Pollard, Brandon Cooks round out the 8th and Kyle Pitts at the 9th. That's never going to happen. He's probably going to go in the 5th, 6th round. Robert Tonyan, Marquise Brown, Devin Singletary, Jarvis Landry, Corey Davis, and now it is back on us. So, quarterback. Burrow, Stafford, Tannehill are all still available. 3 guys that I am fine with drafting as my QB1. And then at wide receiver and at running back, we have Nyheim Hines, Latavius Murray, Gus Edwards, Tariq Cohen, Jamal Williams, Trey Sermon, all available. I am going to want to get one more running back, but I feel like I can wait around to do that. So let's look. Wide receiver, we have Jerry Jeudy, who we're not going to be drafting because we have Cortland Sutton. We have Parker, Shenault, Devontae Smith, Gallup, Antonio Brown, Waddle, all still available. We do have 3 wide receivers. So you know what? Let's go ahead and lock in our guy. Let's get Ryan Tannehill here in the 9th round because there's a lot of wide receivers I'm still cool with. There's a couple running backs that I would be okay with as my running back 5. Running back 5, it's really just like a safety net. I either want a handcuff or a high upside guy that if things break their way, they're in a good spot. So I'm not rushing to do that just yet. But after Tannehill, we see Jerry Jeudy, Joe Burrow, Nyheim Hines, Devontae Parker, Irv Smith round out the 9th. The 10th starts Laviska Shenault, Matt Stafford, Tariq Cohen, Michael Gallup, and Devontae Smith, and it's back on us. So we're locked in at quarterback and we're locked in at tight end. We don't have to look at those positions for the rest of the draft. We have Darren Waller. We have Ryan Tannehill. I'm very happy with that. Now, running back. We have Trey Sermon still there. Michael Carter still there. 2 guys that I'll be looking at. You have Latavius Murray, Gus Edwards as well. Just see more upside with Michael Carter and Trey Sermon. At this point, I am just swinging for the fences. And at wide receiver, we have Mike Williams, Antonio Brown, Jalen Waddle, Michael Pittman, Darnell Mooney. A lot of guys that I'm okay with at wide receiver here. I do only have 3 receivers, but they're 3 guys that I don't necessarily think will be world beaters, but all I kind of have an idea of what they're going to be and what their roles are going to be, and I am okay with starting them week in and week out. So now I just need guys to kind of fill in on bye weeks and stuff. So I am going to go ahead. I only have to start 2 every week anyways. I can start 4 running backs if I want to. Running back. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to take Trey Sermon here in the 10th round. Oh, God, I got to stop doing that. Trey Sermon here in the 10th round as my running back 5, high upside guy. Raheem Mostert's been a little banged up in OTAs. Jeff Wilson's on the pup. I think Trey Sermon, they've said he's coming along well. I think he could come in and have a role on this Kyle Shanahan offense right away and be very successful in that role. And if that is the case, if things do turn his way and he beats out Raheem Mostert for that job, there's a whole shit ton of upside there. So after Sermon, we see Latavius Murray, Matt Ryan, Gus Edwards, Tyler Higbee, Darrell Henderson. Unfortunately, Antonio Brown goes, Jonnu Smith, Mike Williams, Jamal Williams, Rob Gronkowski, Michael Carter, and Phillip Lindsay. Now I'm whoa, somebody's texting me. Way over there, the phone machine is out of the picture right now. So I'm glad we went with running back here because Michael Carter went, Gus Edwards went, Jamal Williams went. All the guys that I would have been looking at, Latavius Murray as my RB5 are off the board. So I'm glad we locked in our final running back there. And now we can just focus in, lock in on wide receiver for the rest of our draft. Now, we got Jalen Waddle, Michael Pittman, Darnell Mooney, T.Y. Hilton, Jalen Reagor, Nelson Aguilar, blah, 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 blah. So I love Jalen Waddle. I do have Jalen Waddle the highest here, but I have drafted a lot of Jalen Waddle, and I do want to go for some upside. I want to go for a guy that I think could be the wide receiver 1 because I am my depth isn't really there at wide receiver just yet. I do have 3 guys I'm confident in, but I do want to have a little more upside there and a little bit more of that type of guy that if he pops, he pops. You know, Jalen Waddle, I kind of know what he's going to be for the most part. He's going to play in the slot with Tua, but he's got Devontae Parker, and when Will Fuller comes back to compete with, who knows what's going to happen with Preston Williams. But I do think Jalen Waddle is relatively safe. I do think he could be upwards of 100 targets this season, even as a rookie. I think there's a lot of rookie wide receivers that could do that this year, especially in 17 games between Waddle and Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, my boy Rashad Bateman. A lot of guys I like there. So you know what? I'm going to go with a second-year guy instead. I'm going to grab Michael Pittman, another guy. We are just loading up. I'm just drafting all of, you know what? In this video, I'm probably going to draft every single fucking one of the guys I talked about in this week's earlier video, my favorite late round, early off-season wide receiver sleepers and values. I got 3 of them already, so we're going to get the 4th later on, I'm sure, as well. So after we go with Michael Pittman, again, on the note of Michael Pittman, he is in a position where he's competing with an aging T.Y. Hilton and Paris Campbell. Paris Campbell's the slot guy. He's playing in an offense with Carson Wentz, who's reunited with Frank Reich. If Carson Wentz can get his shit together, this has the potential to be a very explosive offense, and Michael Pittman could be the number one. You give him one more target a game last season, 17 games, that would be 111 fucking targets. That is big shit right there. And if he goes 120, 130 targets, I would not be surprised whatsoever. After we go Pittman, we see Rashad Penny, Hunter Henry, Marvin Jones, Henry Ruggs, Jalen Waddle round out the 11th. 12th goes Alexander Madison, Austin Hooper, Evan Engram, J.D. McKissick, and James White. And now it is back on us. And I see wide receivers Crowder, Darnell Mooney, T.Y., Aguilar, Rager, Cole Beasley. And again, we are going to swing for the fences and go for some upside here and take Darnell Mooney, wide receiver of the Chicago Bears, a guy that I think is going to be the wide receiver 2 on this offense. And if Justin Fields comes in and gets it together, is better than Andy Dalton, like I expect him to be. I think even Andy Dalton is an upgrade from Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles. That is great news for Darnell Mooney. A lot of deep targets that were not connected on for Mooney last season. A couple more of those go his way. He's all of a sudden goes from 750 to 900 yards and from 60 or 65 catches to 70 catches. And getting that in the 12th round, going into his second year, is just a great value for me. So let's quickly look through the team, what we got to this point. We're in the 13th round. We got Kamara, Akers, Najee, Darren Waller, Cortland Sutton, T. Higgins, Javonte Williams, Curtis Samuel, Tannehill, Trey Sermon, Michael Pittman, and Darnell Mooney. I love this start. So we're in the 13th round. We got 13, 14, 15, 16, 4 picks left, and we're probably just going to be loading up on wide receiver unless there's a value somewhere else, a quarterback or tight end. Let's see, quarterback, Baker Mayfield, Carson Wentz, Trevor Lawrence. What's available at tight end? We got Ertz, Ebron, Jared Cook, Hurst. Nothing at tight end that really excites me too much. Let's look at wide receiver. Denzel Mims, Mecole, Christian Kirk, Paris Campbell, Lazard. Fuck it, Rashad Bateman. Fuck it, Rashad Bateman. Last year I named a bunch of my fantasy teams fuck it, Allen Robinson. This year it might be fucking Rashad Bateman. That's my guy. So we take Rashad Bateman. We did it. We locked up the entirety of the group of guys from this week's video. The favorite wide receiver sleepers, values, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I had a hard time deciding what I was going to call that because Cortland Sutton's not really a sleeper. He's more like just like a value, but he's going in the 6th, 7th round. I guess you could call him a sleeper if you want to. Whatever. It's beside the point. So after we go with Bateman, we see Baker, Tevin Coleman, Mecole Hardman, Christian Kirk, and Trevor Lawrence round out the 13th, and then Gio Bernard, Zach Ertz, Carlos Hyde, Carson Wentz, and Eric Ebron up to this point in the 14th. And the running backs are disgusting. Ugh. Gross. Yuck. Hate that. Look at that. Carlos Hyde, Gio Bernard. Ugh. Ugh. So we got at wide receiver Denzel Mims, Paris Campbell, Allen Lazard, Bashad Perriman, Emmanuel Sanders, Russell Gage, Elijah Moore is still there. So for me here, it's pretty easy. We have Michael Pittman. I would be looking at Paris Campbell. If not, Mims, I'm off the hype train because they're saying he's working out with the second team and stuff. Not really into that. Would rather draft Elijah Moore a little later at this point. But there is one guy that sticks out to me, and that is Russell Gage, wide receiver of the Atlanta Falcons. I do expect his ADP to rise a bit as the wide receiver 2 in a high-octane, high-pass volume offense with the Atlanta Falcons. Pitts will probably be the number 2 guy there, but Russell Gage does have the upside for 100-plus targets this season. He had like 70 catches last year. So could be 80, 90 catches if everything goes his way. Maybe not 90, but maybe 75, 80 catches. 800, 900 yards, 5, 6 touchdowns. And getting that in the 14th round is not bad value whatsoever. So after Gage, we see Daniel Jones, Paris Campbell, Allen Lazard, Rashad Perriman, Sony Michel, Denzel Mims round of the 14th. The 15th goes Roethlisberger, Gainwell, Tua, Keyshawn Vaughn, Jared Cook, and DeAndre Washington. Whoa, that's ugly, bro. God bless you, man. So it's back on the clock for us, and there's a guy that I just mentioned last time. Let's see. Is there anyone at quarterback I want to draft? I don't think so. Lawrence is gone, so probably not. Ooh, Justin Fields. I don't hate that. How many receivers do we have? 7? Is that accurate? No, because I have 3 running backs. I have 4 running backs. I have 5 running backs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide receivers. I have 7 wide receivers already, so I can afford to draft a quarterback here. Now, it's really, do I want to go with Justin Fields or wait for Let's see what's available at wide receiver. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Elijah Moore, wide receiver in the New York Jets. He was a first-round pick. Somebody's got to catch the ball here. It's him and Crowder. Denzel Mims isn't really going to be playing much. Corey Davis is already banged up. Who knows what's going to happen with Corey Davis? I like Elijah Moore there. So we'll go ahead and take him in the 15th round. Haven't grabbed him at all yet. We see Emmanuel Sanders come off the board. Lamar Miller, who's on Washington apparently. Well, this is gross, these running backs coming off here. Justin Fields, I like Pirine here, though. Michael Pirine in the 15th round. That's not bad. Mark Ingram, round out the 15th. Josh Kelly in the 16th. Boston Scott, Darrell Williams, Kerryon Johnson, and Josh Reynolds up to this point in the in the 16th. So it's on us. One last pick. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take an upside quarterback. We have Ryan Tannehill, but we have 8 wide receivers now. We have 5 running backs. We don't need another tight end with Darren Waller. So I'm going to go ahead and go with a big-time upside pick. I did it in the 2 quarterback draft. I'm going to do it here in a 1 QB league too. I'm going to take Trey Lance to be my backup quarterback because if everything goes his way, if he ends up... No, I don't want to convert my league. No, I don't. If everything goes the way of Trey Lance, then he becomes the starter. There's a whole bunch of upside there. And if he hits, no matter what it is, I can play matchups with Tannehill and Trey Lance. I can trade one of them, whatever it may be. At this point, when I got 8 wide receivers and 5 running backs and I don't need another tight end, might as well just get a backup quarterback with a whole bunch of upside. But that's it. That's the draft. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let's quickly go through the team. We went with Kamara, Cam Akers, and Najee Harris in our first 3 picks. Went running back, and then we went tight end, Darren Waller. Kind of a 0 wide receiver strategy. Cortland Sutton, T. Higgins, and then Javonte Williams, Curtis Samuel, Tannehill, Trey Sermon. Then a big run on receiver with Pittman, Darnell Mooney, Rashad Bateman, Russell Gage, and Elijah Moore. And then with our last pick, we went with Trey Lance. So let me know down in the comments below, what do you guys think of this team? What do you think of Sleeper? And also let me know if you guys would at all be interested in doing like a mock draft with me. That'd be something I wanted to do. I had someone comment on one of my videos recently saying they wanted a video with real people in the mocks because obviously I do this all against computers. I could do it on ESPN or Yahoo, but a lot of people just leave those drafts after 8-9 rounds, and then it's just corny going up with auto picks and whatever. But if any of y'all would be interested in doing that, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to get that going. A little mock draft with my listeners. That'd be super, super, super cool. But yeah, that's what I got for y'all today. Let me know what you think of the team down in the comments. Let me know if you'd be using the 0 wide receiver approach, the 0 running back approach, the 0 anything approach. And let me know any mocks you guys want to see in the future as well. But that's all I got for y'all. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video. It really helps. Drop a comment down below and subscribe to the channel to help me reach my goal of 100 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the fantasy football season. I would really appreciate it, and my boy would really appreciate it back here too. Like I always say, put some foods on the table for the young boy. But that's all I got for y'all today. I will see you next time. And as always, thank you, love you, peace.